Hello everybody, welcome to another interesting video on link queries. So in this particular video, I am going to show you three different ways on how you can actually fetch the unique values. So basically we'll have different types of data with us. So when the data is a little bit not organized and when it's having fields which are not really necessary, but still if we have to have them to process it at the further stages, so in that cases what happens is getting out the unique value, so streamlining the data from that will be really a tough task. So if you see this particular data table or the Excel sheet that I have on my screen right now has all the fields, and you can see here there's a column called batch. So in this particular field, we have like right now this information is something that's not letting me to extract the data from this particular table easily, because this batch field is making the every particular row unique with the content that it has, right? So because of this, the ideal way of retrieving by using any function like unique or something like that has become difficult for me. So how you can actually extract the data by using all this? So in my case, I'll just show you what is the output that I really want to fetch from this particular sheet is. Let me run this workflow and I'll quickly show you, and later I'll demonstrate how you can fetch the values using a link query. Okay, so if you see here, I've got my output. So this is my output file. Let me open input as well parallelly. So if you see the input and as well, I'll compare the output. So my output file has only the fields that are unique with respect to the employee ID, right? So here you can see the output contains only 11 rows, whereas the input has 16 rows. But my input has values which are, you know, this value is a same value, but the batch is different because let's say this employee is working in a different batch, right? So, but still he's the same employee. So I wanted to extract it with respect to the employee ID, but not with all the rows, with all the fields in that particular row. So that's the whole idea. So now I will show you the different ways how you can extract using certain field considering as a unique value, and how you can extract with all the fields considering the unique value. Okay, so now because it depends on the criteria, like let's say if you wanted to extract um by considering all the fields, then you can use a different function. But you wanted to extract only using a certain field, then you have to use a different link query, right? So it completely depends upon the way that you do it. Let me quickly go back to studio and I'll show how we can get this achieved. Because if you see here, the Jane Dorsey is there, but in the two entries, but still the employee ID is different. So you cannot directly just go with the first name and the last name, right? Because it can be same. It is same for these two people and these two people, but the employee ID is different. So here, that considering all these factors, we can just see different examples how we can extract and how we can utilize this for the next steps of streamlining the data. So I just used the read range activity and then took the output into a data table. This is just for the reference to cross check how many rows that I have. And yes, if you have watched my previous videos already, then you know why I'm doing this particular step. DT extracted data table is equal to temp dot clone. So basically the temp is I am having it from here. So once after I do the read range, I have my DT temp. I'm cloning it into a different new data table, which is DT extracted table. I have just declared the DT extracted table and I'm cloning it. So if you don't know why I'm doing this step, you should watch the previous videos on my channel, because it's important to know why we are doing certain steps. You can get that idea easily from this video, how to fix object reference error in link queries. So this video will help you out. I'll also try to link the video on the top of this particular video, and either you can also check it out in the description. So first I'm cloning it. If you don't want to clone it, you can either you can use build data table activity also. But this is a compulsory step, otherwise you will run into errors. Then, first thing that I wanted to show here is how you can actually extract the table with considering all the rows, all the content as the unique. So now I will just show you how you can do it. So if you see here, dt temp dot default value dot to table is true, right? So you can use this particular query because this will actually return you the unique values considering all the values inside a particular table. So what I exactly mean by that? So here in my challenge sheet, right, I have the batch also. So let's say at any point of time you wanted to have the whole working hours, the people working in the different shifts, and you wanted to fetch the data from them, right? So let's say if there's a duplicate entry, let's just copy it and then I'll insert it over here. Okay, so this is a duplicate entry. That means this person has added the entry twice. In such cases, what happens? Only this particular line item will be deleted. So now let's try to see how this actually works. Okay, now let's take a write range, workbook, and then that over here. I will put it in the same sheet so it will be easy to access. Sheet 1. Okay, and I am going to write my dt extracted table into it with headers. Okay, so what this actually do, it will try to filter out the unique values by considering every particular information in all the rows. Okay, so now I have done this and I've added the values. So now if we go and check it out, ideally, so what this one actually does is, okay, it didn't save the value. Sorry. Let's copy it and paste it. I think we have written in the same sheet. Okay, that's my bad. I'll just insert the copied cells over here and then I'll just close it up so we can just write it into the different sheet and see the output. So this is one way of doing it. But at any point of time, if you wanted to retrieve only, okay, so let's do this and do this. Okay, yeah. So now let's go back and check the sheet. We can have two different in the workbook we have two different sheets and then we can see, yeah, this is the thing, and the output should contain or it should have, if you see the last row is also the same, right? It also has two entries, correct? So it has 19 rows and this should ideally has 17 because it should delete the last row and the first row because the both are the same entries. And let's now see, at any point of time you wanted to retrieve the records of the people who were having same first name or same last name. So in such cases, how you can actually do, we have to you get the unique values based on a certain column, right? So in such case, how you can actually get this done. So let me show you that. So this particular sequence, this particular link query, what we've seen earlier, so this is not actually a link query, but yeah, this particular query, what we have seen already is something will retrieve the unique values by considering all the elements in that particular row, right? By considering all the values in that particular row. But if you wanted to give specific value or specific, column information, then you can go in this particular way. You have to provide what column information that the bot has to choose in order to fetch the unique values. Okay, this is the thing. And now I'm coming to the link query topic. So here in this, I will also write this query so it will be easy to understand. So in this, what we are actually doing is we are fetching the values from it only based on a certain value, certain column value. So how you can actually do this? Let me show you. The one that we've written earlier has a small drawback. So what that exactly is, so here I'm choosing, so if you see here, this particular query, which I'm making the unique values with respect to last name and the first name. But this will give me only those two column values, right? So if you see DT extractor table, it has actually given a different count, but here it will give me only these two values, right? But I also want the rest of the values which filter out the unique values based on certain column information. So how can I actually do that, right? So just for doing it, we will be switching to the link query, which will be the easiest way. So how can I do that is, so if you've already know how we will do the group by, there's a video up there on my channel. So this is the one that I'm referring to. Group by multiple columns, link query in UiPath. You can just take this particular query and you can watch this video because I've completely explained how we will write the query, what is the easiest way to understand this and whole thing about this particular concept in this video. So you can just watch this video and you'll get the whole idea about it. But I just took the same query and tweaked a little bit over here. So what I've actually done is, so we will be still using the dt temp because it has the whole data. So from the dt temp, I'm grouping it, right? I'm grouping x by with what is the column name that I'm referring to is employee ID, because for me, I want to filter out using employee ID because the same employee can be worked in different batches, but I don't want all of that. I just wanted to filter using employee ID because for me, batch field is not relevant over here. So I'm choosing employee ID and making it into a group. This is just an assignment. So group is equals to group, and I am selecting whatever the first entry that comes in, right? Because with respect to employee ID, there if there is two three references or two three entries that are coming in, then I just wanted to choose the first one that comes in. So that's why I have given group of 0, because this basically returns a group. That means we have seen in the previous video, right? Group means it will give you with respect to employee ID, it will give you a particular, maybe a table kind of stuff, right? So or array kind of collection, basically it will give you a collection. So from that collection, I wanted to pick only the first entry. So that's why what I'm giving, select group of 0 and dot to copy to data table. That means it will fetch all of that and give it into a data table, right? So that's in where I have written this query. So I hope this is quite easily understandable if you already have the idea of how to write a group query, link query, right? So that's it. So I'll also paste this query in the description so you can easily copy it and customize as per your need. So now let's quickly run this and see how the output would come. Okay, so now we can just quickly go and check the output. So now I should get all the values. So if you see, I have given this as a unique reference, but instead of only this column, I've got everything because we are fetching the all the row value. You're just giving this as the search criteria, but we are fetching all the values. So this is how you can actually do using a link query. So you can group, and based on the outcome of the group, you're fetching the first value. That's it. That is the whole idea of this particular link query. So I hope this is useful, and I try to cover three different ways how you can do that. I'll put all the three queries in the description. You can just check it out and customize it as per your need. So that's all in this video. So if you have any queries or questions or any feedback, or if you see any scenario that you're facing challenge in the link queries, try to put it out in the comment, or you can reach out to me on my LinkedIn profile and you can put out the scenario. I'll try to demonstrate, either by making a video or by helping you out if it's a smaller one. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Till then, stay tuned, subscribe to my channel. Bye.